banking. It's been around for hundreds of years. It's a highly respected and necessary part of the financial markets to have liquidity and to have credibility. So, the people, as well as I do, everybody needs to sell newspapers. Everybody needs to get eyeballs. And so they write good stories. I'm not sure it was a mob more than the little man taking down some evil plutocrat. It was a mob. They got together, and the hedge funds, I'm still surprised that they sold so much short. I mean, I've seen short squeezes all my life, and everybody, always the first thing I look at is how many shorts are there, because then if there are too many shorts, I'm not going to sell something short because I know I'm liable to a squeeze, and I don't know them, so I don't know how they made got into such a position. But then smart guys said, let's do a short squeeze. There have been short squeezes for hundreds of years. And they did it, and they were successful for a while. Now the government is looking at it. The government doesn't have to get in. It's self-regulating. Enough people have lost money by now that you don't have to worry about new controls, new regulations. It'll take care of itself. Silver's better. Silver's still cheaper. I mean, I own both. I own both, and I will be buying more of both, but not now. I'm waiting for the correction, if there's a correction. But I will buy silver, and I'll buy more silver. Silver's down 45% from its all-time high. Gold is near its all-time high. Stocks in many countries are near their all-time high. You know that the world is moving more and more towards electric cars, whether we like it or not. And electric cars use, for instance, 5 times as much copper as they use in a regular car. So there's going to be more demand, and silver, of course, is used a lot in many of the new applications. Solar energy uses silver. So I'm optimistic about many commodities going forward. I'm still buying agriculture. I see the cheapest area of the cheapest asset class in the world. I mean, bonds are in a bubble. Property in many cities is in a bubble. Stocks are near all-time highs. So commodities are still the cheapest asset class I know. So I certainly would like to buy silver under 10, but I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime again. No, I don't have a price for gold or silver right now. I let the market usually tell me what to do. When I see despair of people giving up on something, then I will probably buy more silver, more gold. But there's certainly not despair in either of those markets right now. I have never bought or sold any crypto. I wish I'd bought the right one. The right ones, I mean, many of them have disappeared and gone to zero. We all read about the success stories. We don't read about the hundreds or probably thousands by now that have disappeared and gone to zero. And yeah, I know people who are doing extremely well and making a lot of money and having a lot of fun. I'm not one of them. We'll see how it ends. The more people who join in, the bigger the price is going to be, the higher the price is going to be. It's a very simple equation. How it's all going to end, I have a different view, but in the meantime, I'm not going to rain on their parade. I'm not even at the parade. So more power to them as long as they get out in time. I'm not sure that Bitcoin hasn't stood the test of time, but the test of hard times. We will see. My view, as I think you remember, is that if Bitcoin becomes successful as money, which the advocates say, then the government's going to outlaw it because they don't want to lose the monopoly. They don't want the competition. They want the control. Money is going to be on the computer. It already is in China. You can't take a taxi in China with money, with renminbi. You can't try to buy an ice cream with Chinese money. So it's already happening in many countries. China is certainly ahead of the U.S., but the U.S. is studying, figuring out what to do with how to do computer money. All money is going to be on the computer, but I would suspect it's going to be government money. They don't want to lose control. They love it. First of all, they don't have to print it. It money costs a lot of money. You have to transport it, print it, guard it, account for it. If it's all on the computer, it's very, very simple, and they know everything you do, and they love that. I mean, I hate it, of course, but they'll call you up and say, "You've been feeding your babies too much milk this month. Calm down." They'll know everything we all do, which they love. Wait, selling short is manipulation? Since when? The manipulators were the mob. The mob said, let's have a short squeeze. That's manipulation. It's pretty clear and simple. It's legal. They didn't do anything that I know of. They didn't do anything illegal. But the manipulation were the guys having the short squeeze, all getting on the internet and saying, buy it, buy it, buy it. I mean, the hedge fund guys are clearly smart, except for the fact that they overextended themselves. I mean, this company, from what I can see, was a dead company. I mean, the fact that the stock went to $300 for a company which is basically out of business because some people got together and manipulated the stock and squeezed it. Why does that make the hedge funds evil? The hedge fund guys were smart and did their homework and knew what they were doing, except they got overextended, of course. The mob is going to lose a lot of money in this, but that company's not worth $50, much less $300. It was $8 before. It's going to go back and probably lower. I'm still buying shares in some country, not in the U.S., that you can see the bubble forming. I've been to this movie before. It's not my first rodeo. I know how it's where you see new players come in. The whole thing with Bitcoin is another sign of that. The short squeeze we just had, massive numbers of new people coming into markets. It's all happened before. It all plays out more or less the same way in the end. And in the end, of course, it pops. And a lot of people lose a lot of money.